Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Welcome to BGP. Today we are going to talk about flued out fiascos. If you are on social media, you're seeing a lot of videos, a little TikToks where men have flown women out and something goes wrong. They don't get any sex, so they drive them back to the airport and they have to find their own way back home. Ladies, how do you feel about the flued out fiasco? I'll start with you, Adrianne.
It's crazy. Again, I think it just goes back to you need to really get an understanding and conversation before you, especially if you're going out of town with somebody. The ones that I've seen, the one most recently that I saw, he even went as far as canceling her ticket going back. So like you said, she needed to find a way to get home. You know what I mean? And I think some of the ways that we display ourselves on social media, these guys are getting the idea that whatever it is that we're putting out there, that this is the plan. Mm-hmm. You need to have a whole itinerary. So this dude that's about to spend all this money to take you to another state, out of the country, wherever you are going, what's expected? And what are you expecting of me? Because that can get really, really ugly. Especially these guys are spending thousands of dollars. You know, air flights aren't cheap. These nice hotel rooms aren't cheap. Although the one that I did see looked like they was in Motel 6 or something. But, you know, you have to really know. And you have to be very careful with that. You start hitting a man's pockets too hard, he might want to get crazy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm not liking it. I think we need to be very careful with that, ladies.
Ms. Neisha Williams.
I think it's crazy. I think it's scary. I think that we need to be a little more careful because a lot of people are starting to think that they're moving like so-called influencers, and influencers are telling women like, if he don't spend insert dollar amount, he's this, he's that, he's not that. And what's ending up happening is they're trying to use that logic with men and not really asking the right questions. And they're not really protecting themselves. They're not showing up financially either. And so when they get out there and realize, wait a minute, nobody told me that I had to give up the too. I don't want to do that. And those men are like, well, then give me my money back. You can go back to where you came from. Exactly. And they're being, put in compromising positions, especially if they didn't have the funds up front. So I think it's a little scary. That's what I think.
So, you meet a man. You talk on the phone, you get to know each other, and you're going to have your first date, but he lives over here, you live over there, or you want to go to a vacation spot. If a man is flying you out, we are all adults here. Is it a wrong expectation for him to believe that if he's going to spend multiple days with you, that you should be willing or desiring to have sexual intercourse with him?
You said, is it wrong?
Yeah, is it wrong? You guys have talked on the phone. You guys, seem to have some kind of verbal chemistry. You're talking. You gotten to know each other. Hey, I want to get to know you a little better. I want to fly you out, or let's go on a vacation together. Is it a wrong expectation for a man to believe, since you agreed to come out, that you guys are going to have sex?
It's not a wrong expectation, but again, with conversations and communication, you have that option of letting him know in that moment, like, that's not what I'm about, that's not what I plan on doing, so that he can then make that decision of whether or not he wants to fly you out or not. Yeah. But most men expect that if you get in a room together, if you coming out to their cities and whatnot, they usually expect sex to be on the table. Granted, I'm not saying that's all men, so don't come for me in these comment sections. But usually, I mean, when getting to know one another, sex is usually on the top of the list. So, yeah.
I think there just definitely has to be some clarity so that he's clear as to what you're going to do, and so that you know, because like you said, they're spending that kind of money. That may be very well their expectations, but I think if you put it out there, say, look, I am flattered that you want to take me to Cancun, and I think it's beautiful, but I really care. This is the way I carry myself. I don't really, I don't know that we're going to have sex or anything, so I just want to make that perfectly clear. I think as a grown woman and a grown man, that's a discussion that must be had before you get all the way into another country and end up getting swooped up by the cartels and end up being a prostitute in Mexico.
Oh,
so I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
So, if the conversation hasn't been had, and the young lady, or the woman, agrees to come out, and he spends X amount of dollars for this plane ticket, X amount of dollars for this hotel room, X amount of dollars for this rent-a-car. He's got to feed you. He might take you shopping. Would you consider that female a gold digger?
If he has to do that?
Oh, he has to do it.
Oh, he
because
has
you're in
to?
his city, or you guys, you're not in your surroundings.
Right.
He has to do that. Would you consider? And she said in her mind, sex is not on the table. Yes, I will meet you. Yes, I will let you spend X amount of dollars on me, and you're not getting any booty. But she didn't say it. But some of those girls was like, I don't have to give you my booty if I don't want to, which is true. You don't.
Right.
Because answer my question.
I don't know.
Gold digger?
I don't know if that makes her a gold digger because she's requiring that from him. But like I said, a conversation should be had up front so that person can decide if that's what they want to do or not. Requiring him to spend his funds on her or to buy her certain meals or take her whatever, that's not a gold digger to me.
She's not requiring anything. They don't know each other. They live in two separate places.
Which means he could say no.
He's going to have to front the situation.
Which means he could say no based on conversation. All it takes is a conversation.
I think she too can deny certain things. Like, you're doing a little bit too much. I don't want you to spend $500 on me at the mall or whatever. She can pull back a little bit, especially if her intentions is not to be sexual, or to be intimate in any way. She can pull back, hey, no, because he's going to think with him spending that kind of money that he's going to be getting something. Correct. So I think it's okay if we go to the mall, he said, hey, let me get that for you. No, that's not. It's early on in our situation. I don't want to accept those kind of elaborate gifts from you at this moment.
Let me answer my own question. I absolutely think she is a gold digger. I think she's doing some shady activities. I think that she has gotten with a man that she has no intentions on being with, establishing a relationship with. She sees a trick. She sees that she know this man and he's trying to get to know her, and he's doing all that he can do to get with her. He's pulling out all the stops, and she sees a way to come up. Now, don't get it twisted. Like Neisha said somewhere else, don't come for me in these comment sections. If I go somewhere with a man, no, I am not required to give it up. My body, my choice, my vagina. However, I'm not going to put myself in a situation because, like we say, relationships start off visual. Men are physical. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to spend multiple days with a dude and be scared if he come for me to reach in for the kiss, reach in for the touch. That puts him at a disadvantage. Now, one video I saw, the first night, he just took her shopping. And he pulled back. He didn't try to approach her. He was a gentleman. He didn't try to have sex with her. So the second night, he tried to get him some, or the third night he tried to get him some. You're sending mixed signals when you accept an invitation to fly out of town and not be with the man sexually. That's my situation. A red flag would be for me if I do agree to go out and get flued out, and you give me a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
That's a red flag for
Yep.
me. Would you say that's a red
Absolutely.
flag?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what would be that red flag?
A one-way mean that I could get stuck in your town if I'm not financially stable.
Right.
So, no, I'm coming back home if I decide to go out there. But I'll leave it at your question. I won't go too deep. So
Go into it.
I believe in conversations. I believe in asking the right questions so that there is no element of surprise for me. You're not getting me a one-way ticket. It's going to be a round trip. And because of how I move, more than likely I'm going to make sure that I get my ticket, because you're not going to cancel my ticket.
Yes, exactly.
You're not going to have that opportunity to cancel my ticket. So that would be that, unless you want to send me the funds and then I purchase the ticket and then, we can go from there. But I'm not giving you the opportunity to be able to cancel my flight to where I'm stuck now trying to figure out how I'm going to get back home. But to go back off of what you just said about transactional situations, those conversations need to be had. If you know that you're not really, if you know you don't want to have sex with said individual, you also shouldn't put yourself in that situation to where that person has in their mind that's what's going to happen when you come out here. So you need to be very clear on everything before you get out there so that you're not shocked or surprised.
And I think that some things that make it very clear is that you insist that you guys get separate rooms. You insist that, hey, this night you take care of dinner. The next night I'll take care of dinner. Those things that make it really clear that we're still just dating. And this is a first time thing. I just happen to be in your town. Show me take me on a tour of this and let's go to see the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, exactly. Yes. But at the end of the day, my room is 625 and your room is 626. And I'll see you for breakfast in the morning. There's ways that you could still get flued out and you don't necessarily have to, and you can make it very clear that you're not giving up the goodies. Yeah. Just by simple things like that. So I think, again, communication. So when we sit down and make this itinerary, we get you get the tickets and you get the room or whatever, but we'll have separate rooms. We'll share the meal fees. If we go into a show, we'll, whatever. But there's ways to make it where it can be still a very fun trip without exchanging bodily fluids,
So let me ask you this question. If you are in the initial stages of a relationship and you guys are getting to know each other, but now we're at the point where we want to see each other, would you fly your own self out?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
And I think that would let a man know that your intentions are good.
Exactly. You're not trying to use them.
Yeah. And I agree with both of you when you say that communication. We're on the phone. Hey, you flying me out? What we going to do?
What's your intentions?
We going to have one bed or we going to have two beds?
Exactly.
Like Adrianne said, am I going to have a separate room or we going to be together?
Exactly.
Because why would a female, what would a female think that a man wants to do when he gets you somewhere? When he pays his money for you, go to the library.
Right.
Exactly.
What do we think? So we need to stop playing games.
Playing games, exactly.
I'm not mad at men for doing what they do, how they do it, because you let me know you playing me.
You trying to play?
There was one where he had took her shopping. He spent like $5,000 on her. $5,000. Come on, girl.
Ooh,
you know you got to flip it.
You got to do something.
Get butt naked.
You got to.
Because you came out here. Where you from, they ain't spent $5,000 on you.
Thank you.
That should be an initiative for you to do something.
Yes.
Rub on it, do something.
Blow on it.
Give them some hope. I ain't saying be tricky, but I'm saying, come on now.
Exactly.
We're grown and we're adults, and it looks bad on your part as a female when you getting booted out out the car at the airport and you don't know what to do and you thinking, oh, you know, it looks bad on him, but it looks bad on you too.
Yes,
it does kind of look bad on him because he needs to have a better vetting process. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about y'all and how tricky y'all being out here. And that's not ladylike. It could get worse. It could get worse too. You having to find a way home. And remember, you're somewhere where you're not familiar. You can come up missing. You can come up dead. So we need to stop playing these games. And I just want to ask one more question, and we'll close this up. What if it was switched? What if he flew you out and he didn't want to have sex with you, but you found him very physically attractive and you was ready to drop it and he was like, nah, I'm good. How do you think most women would feel about that scenario? Look at that.
That's some major rejection right there.
Is it rejection?
And you're out of the city.
In this beautiful paradise. Well, maybe we went to Hawaii and you don't want to do it to me? No, I think
and do they think about that?
Yeah.
Neisha, you're frowning. What's up?
I'm not frowning. I'm just thinking. I'm taking it in because I don't necessarily know it's rejection. But again, it goes on conversations and how you guys are moving.
Exactly. There you go.
So I don't know if that's rejection. Honestly, it might be a good thing. It's kind of smart because if you're still trying to get to know one another, I see nothing wrong with it. I think we also, as women, got to be honest. Like, if this is going to be a transactional relationship, then I agree. If you like, I expect you to spend insert dollar amount on my clothes, on my ticket, on my bills, on whatever, then yeah. And because it's going to be transactional, then, I mean, they have sex workers for a reason. Then go ahead, put out, do what you got to do. But if you know that that's not the direction you want to go, then some of these requirements that you are throwing out there because influencers are telling you that's how you should move, I think that you need to think real long and hard before you do it because some men don't have that, they don't have the logical skills to be patient with a woman and pick up a phone and go live to clown you. Some men lose their temper and can snap because you said no, and A, either try to just take it anyway, or B, make you disappear. Is it right? No. Am I encouraging it? No. But I'm just saying you need to be smarter and be real careful because you never know what could happen in that situation. So, and if a man says no, and you throwing it at him and he says no, oh, shit.
ED.
It may not be ED. He may truly really want to get to know you. Because some men, it's not always about, I'm trying to take you down the first day. They really do want to get to know you.
Not the first day, but...
She said, ED. How dare you reject me? No. I'm A.
Right.
I brought my A game.
Okay. I brought my A game.
I got all this sexy life. You don't want to rip it off me?
Okay, interesting.
I think some people say, you know, are we going to have sex?
Yes.
Hey, let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
That will give him a hope.
Yeah.
That will determine if he really want to spend some money on you. Some people will say, because you might say, okay, Robert, we're going to go. I'm going to let you fly me out. And we're going to do all these things. And I don't want to have sex with you. And then you get down there and you find out that this man is sexy. And now I want to touch him. He's like, nah, I remember when you said.
Yeah, you said.
Because who wants to be somewhere sexually frustrated with somebody that they're physically attracted to? So that's why I'm saying it goes for men and women.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Absolutely.
Let's be adults.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, ladies.
Just be careful. I think like what we say all the time, conversation is key. You can pick up on what's going to be happening, but be very clear. We are adults. And if we are going all the way across the country, if we're going just into another state, whatever the case may be very clear of what the expectations are. Be willing if you're not wanting to go there, that you get you a separate room, or if nothing else, a separate bed, and just make it very clear to the gentleman, or that this is what I'm going to do, you know, and this is what I'm going to do. I want to have a good time. I'll take care of breakfast. I think it just has to be some good communication. And, yeah, don't break his pockets on the first date or the second.
Maybe the third.
Maybe by day 3, you can buy me an outfit. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
Final thought, Neisha Williams.
I just say be real careful and do your best not to don't put yourself in compromising positions, because again, there's a lot of things influencers aren't telling you, and they make it look a certain way in front of a camera, but behind the scenes things look a little bit different. If you decide that you want to be quote unquote flued out and go into these other locations, you better make sure that your bank account looks good, your finances are straight for just in case purposes where you have to find your way to get back home. Otherwise, you can be one of those ones that don't make it back home. You can come up missing. You can come up and become somebody's, property. And so you don't want to do that. You want to ask the right questions. You want to make sure the communication is very clear. If you are about being transactional, then, be upfront with that too. If you know that you're not trying to put out, let him know so that there's no surprises, so that he can say, well, then maybe you should pay for, your room. I'll pay for mine, or we can go half, or we can do 50-50, or we can do, I'll take care of this, you take care of that, so that there's no confusion on either person's end when you get out there. And make sure you take care of your tickets. Make sure it's in your name. Make sure you take care of that so that someone doesn't have the opportunity to cancel your tickets, because there's nothing worse than being stuck in the city and now you got to try to find a way home. And I could tell you, because I used to work for the airlines, when you purchasing tickets the day of, a lot of times those prices are really expensive compared to buying it out a month ahead of time, or 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time. So you make sure you're ready and you're prepared and you're protective. And yeah, that's my final thoughts. Be careful. Don't waste these men time, because these, like I said in a previous episode, these men not playing no more. They're being schooled. They're being shown and taught by these other male influencers on these social media streets, like how to get her to do this, how to get her to that. And if she doesn't, put her out, put her on blast and, kick her ass to the curb. There's other women that'll do it. And, there's these men not playing no more where they're allowing you to be a sucker, allowing you to, sucker them. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that anymore. And some men don't have the logical skills to remember that you are a lady, or be patient with you, or try to just wait. They're snapping because they like, you made me spend insert dollar amount on you, and you not gonna give me some, Right. So be careful and just move different, And that's my final thought.
My final thought would be this: let's start being genuine with each other, both men and women. What we have to understand is that whenever it's a first encounter, it's awkward for both of us. Both of us are nervous. Both of us are on edge. Does he really like me? I got to be a lady. And all the things that come with that. If you're not going to give it up, let him know I'm not going to give it up. Yeah. And take it from there. And like Neisha said, always have a plan B. That's my final thought. Like, share, subscribe. Please hit that like bell for us, that like button for us. That helps us with the algorithms. And we love comments. Leave us a comment and tell us what you think. BGP, and we are out.
Bye.